Welcome, Geek Nation. There's a library of games that don't get the love and attention they deserve. Every week, we'll explore a new game to share with you the wonderful world of tabletop RPGs. I am your host, Lily Moon, and this is One Shot. You were once a government agent. Doesn't matter where you were in the world. One mission, you found that there's something that lurks in the shadows, something deeper and darker than you ever thought possible. Now, you search out to figure out what this great evil is. The only thing protecting humanity from this darkness is you and your team. Tonight we'll be playing Knight's Black Agent, written by Kenneth Haidt and published by Pelgrane Plus. It is run in the Gumshoe system. Tonight, our GM will be Gregory Harris.
Woo! You're far too kind. Thank you, Lily. That's right. Knight's Black Agents is a conspiracy spy thriller with vampires. Although at the beginning of the game, the player characters may not know this yet. I'm not going to go too deeply into game mechanics because a lot of that will just come out in the play, but it involves agents, government agents, ex-spies of various kinds, trying to unravel the conspiracy of this evil. The Gumshoe system has one unique feature in that when the player characters are looking for clues, if they have a relevant skill, they don't make a roll to see if they obtain a clue. They always do. And that keeps the story moving. If there is something that can be found with criminology, the players will find it. The players can spend points out of their skill pool in that, possibly to discern some additional information. And that pool of skills, the more points in skill they have, the better they are, obviously. And that point of skill depletes over the course of the game. They can always at least get the free clue, but they may run out of points to get the extra information. Similarly, you have skills like shooting and hand-to-hand combat that the players can spend points in to boost the effects of their roll. The die mechanic is a single 6-sided dice. And with that, these 4 brave agents, perhaps foolhardily, are going to go up against the Harker Intrusion. You are all on your way to Marrakesh.
Hold on a second. Do we introduce our characters first?
We didn't introduce our characters. We didn't even introduce our players.
No.
Forgive me. And let's meet the people who are going to Marrakesh.
There's 2 of them. Sure. Start this side table, I guess. Well, before we get started, since we are using this, I wanted to say that all products for Knight's Black Agents can be found at pilgrimpress.com, including the soundtrack that we're using now, which is called Dust and Mirrors. It was composed by James Semple, Marie Ann Fisher, Terry Ehrlich, and Chris Narn. They also composed other soundtracks available for the Gumshoe system, including Ashen Stars, Trail of Cthulhu, and the Esoterists, and also, separate from the system, 13th Age. So, tonight, hey, I'm Rob Duke. You know me. You know all of us.
Most of us.
Yeah,
we'll get to
that.
that.
I'll be playing Morgan, who is an ex-wet-work mercenary. And should we go into the description?
Just really quickly tell me who you are.
Sure. Well, I was an assassin until they set me up against a man who wouldn't die. Now I hunt the monsters, redeeming myself by destroying things that should not exist.
Lily?
My name is Ella Butterwet. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I am an ex-black beggar into all of my team died and the monster left me alive with a scar. I am out for revenge.
And for the benefit of people who don't have points in tradecraft, what does a black bagger do?
I'm pretty much an infiltrator of the team.
Exactly. Very good. All right, Greg, we will let's hear from you, and then we'll introduce our special guest tonight.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm still Greg.
I'm still Greg.
Hi, still Greg.
I am playing Ali, the Turkish previous national intelligence operative who worked as an asset handler, dealing with handling people. And says four of my operatives got killed in a single night, realized I got too close to something big, was forced out of the agency, want back in, but need to prove the existence of a, we won't talk about that, conspiracy to make them believe me. Ali has a perfect American accent. There will be no accent this evening.
Ashamed.
And welcome to our fourth chair tonight.
Hello, my name is Eric Shepard. I'm the guest tonight, and I will be playing. I'm going to be playing Burroughs. Burroughs specializes in pulling MI6 friendlies and assets out of danger. But a year ago, Mom bled to death in the back of my car and whispered that there are vampires pulling the world's strings. I've gone rogue to find out the truth. I'm a bit of a wheel artist, but I'm a patriot. I believe in Queen and country.
Outstanding. And the four of you know each other. So you don't have to meet in a tavern or a airport bar or anything like that. The four of you have worked together before. There is, to one degree or another, a degree of trust between your agents. You all can decide what that might be. You might have worked together on ops before. You might have been on opposite sides, but decided that your opposite number wasn't really that bad a guy. We'll figure that part out as we go. And is there anything else we need to cover before we drop into the action?
No, I think we spent our points, our extra 2 points.
That's right. There is it's a point. The game is a point by system, and this mission is built around a 5-member party. When you have a smaller table, the other agents get extra points to spend on their investigative abilities to make up for the fact that someone with certain skills may not be available. So,
Our fifth member's already dead.
he just didn't make it to Marrakesh. It's tragic. Really, we won't talk about it. So you all are on your way to Marrakesh. You have received word from a relatively new contact. They sent you a packet of information by an encrypted email. You were first maybe inclined just to dismiss it as a possible honey trap or something like that, but looking it over, you realize that there's enough just enough information there, combined with what you already know, made you realize that this person knows what they're talking about, and they are deliberately dangling a hint of information to get you to take them seriously. They indicated that they're willing to work with you, provided that you prove that you have the skills that they need. And they've asked you to do them a favor. Currently, there is an American journalist named Olivia Liu, and she is on the run. She somehow got wind of things going not quite the way they're supposed to be. And she's gotten closer to things that you all already know about, but that she had no idea existed. And she's gotten in a bit over her head. The source wants you, very simple mission, wants you to get to Marrakesh, find Olivia Liu, and pull her out of there before she gets herself killed or before the opposition realizes how close she is to finding out things that they aren't going to want to know. So how you all know, in addition to knowing each other, as was mentioned earlier, you all know that there is a conspiracy out there in the underworld. You know that it's big, and you know the people running it are extremely well connected. And you know that among the bad guys, some of them are not human. That's powered by that knowledge. How are you making your way to Marrakesh?
I take an airplane and smoke a cigarette on the way there.
Yeah, I'll use
The flight attendant asks you, please, no smoking on the flight.
No, but the smoke lights on.
Yeah, they're always on because we never have smoking on the flights.
It's a French plane. That's always smoking on French planes.
Anyway,
Well, the French always smoke on the French planes, but
Yeah.
please, the flight attendant says, please put it out and walks away.
I put it out.
I'm also flying in, but ahead of time, because if I remember correctly about gear going into Morocco. Since I have a place in Morocco, I'm making arrangements to have a cache already ready for us.
All right. Do you have points in preparedness?
I do.
All right, awesome. So this is actually one of my favorite things.
Wait, I do not.
You do not.
Shoot.
Oh.
I have contacts though.
All right. Well, see, then that will be. Then we'll play that.
Okay.
I'll
How's
just
that work?
very quickly say one of my favorite things about this game is it has a stat called preparedness, and you can spend that to be prepared for something. Of course, I have a sniper's nest set up across from the corporate headquarters of the people we're investigating. Of course, I have a getaway car downstairs. Of course, I have an unregistered gun in the toilet tank with the pull chain in the back of the Italian restaurant.
Of course, my bracelet turns into throat.
Something like that. So now Rob does not have that, so he's going to have to find another way to get some of his gear.
Yeah.
Are you on the same plane as Verret?
Yes.
Awesome. And you're following a good tradecraft. You are sitting in totally different sections of the plane.
Okay.
All
I
right.
get first class.
I send a note conspicuously on a napkin underneath your drink.
What does that note say?
It says V.
Mm-hmm.
We need to prepare ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of my codes for we need to get gear into Morocco. Do you have preparedness?
Yes, I do. I am prepared.
Okay.
Great. So, Burroughs, how are you making your way to Marrakesh?
Point of reference. What is the era we're playing in? Cold War, modern day?
Modern day. Yeah, great
Okay.
question. It's basically right now.
Well, I'm going to call up a bloke who owes me a favour. I'm going to take a tramp steamer into Casablanca, and then I will make sure that I use a point of preparedness to make sure that there will be a vehicle waiting for me, and then I will drive from Casablanca to Marrakesh.
Excellent. Very good. And Ali?
This is kind of my area of the world already. So I happen to already be near Algeria, and I'm just going to drive over there.
All right. Very good. Needless to say, you guys are flying in from Europe. Security there is pretty good. So you are what they call in the trade naked. You're not carrying weapons. You're not packing heat on an airplane. You're not nowhere close to dumb enough to do that.
Right.
So you guys, basically going in by car, you may have an opportunity to bring in some extra gear, and we can talk about that with preparedness. But so you guys land without incident. The airport is busy. You make your way to, and you know that you've already communicated in advance, so you all know that each of you are converging on the city. So you don't have to spend anything. You've gone ahead and arranged to meet up, and you get to the you get to a meetup place not far from Olivia Liu's hotel, the address of which has been provided to you by your erstwhile contact. So we've talked about gear. Is there anything else that you do or have done to prepare for this hop?
Well,
I would probably make sure that, since I know there's going to be 4 of us, I would make sure that when I came in through Casablanca, I probably would have made sure that there were at least 4 matching Glock handguns, 9mm parabellum. That way they're easy to get ammunition, pretty standard, clean pieces. That way and of course, since Glock is a very popular model, it's very easy to find or manufacture silencers, and if I remember correctly, I'm good with that kind of thing. Oh, Swiss Army prep. I can use mechanics as preparedness for homemade gadgets.
Awesome. So
So
you could
I
rig,
will-
if you had
I
to
will-
rig a silencer by yourself, you know you're capable of doing that. I'm going to give you, along with prepping your car for that single point of preparedness, you've already, the guns come with it. They're in the trunk. That's real standard stuff.
And I figure since I know there's going to be at least 4 of us, possibly a 5th, I'd probably look for something like a like a Land Rover or something like that, maneuverable but robust enough to carry everyone.
Right.
Considering I don't want to use it for point of preparedness yet, I stole a really crappy Toyota, and it's gonna die when we get to Marrakesh.
All right, that's fine. I'm sure you can just leave that on the street and it would all of a sudden not be your problem anymore.
Yep.
Okay, is there any is there any research or anything you guys would like to do? Like,
I'm not really into research.
Let's see. Sure. I would like to. I would like to look up information on this journalist that we're all looking for.
that's a great. That's a great thing. Okay, so you have tradecraft, and so
Yeah, and I also have research.
excellent. Well, Olivia Liu started off in the underground press. Then she made her way to the Village Voice. When the Village Voice, as you know, is no longer published, and so she is kicking around right now as a freelance journalist. But she has something of a reputation as a dogged investigator, which is good in that she tends to get her story. It's maybe not so great in that she's not really willing to back off when she's in over her head. She has won some minor awards, and she's generally regarded as having the solid goods, which means no one yet has seen fit to burn her by feeding her something phony that she will lose her credibility on. So she's more or less flown under the radar of the traditional press until about now. She's starting to get freelance pieces published in Washington Post, New York Times, that kind of thing. That's a great question.
There's a French restaurant near the airport.
It sure is.
I love it. Well, Marrakesh.
And that can be where you guys meet.
Shit.
It's on the Rue de Barrage, in case we want to get barraged.
Okay. And
You guys drive. Give me one second. So you guys drive in. There, the streets are narrow. You pass You pass shops and souks and markets. People are hawking their wares. Even as you pull up to the rare occasions when you stop for a traffic light, people are like leaning in your window trying to sell things. The sun is bright, and but you're experienced in getting around different cities, so you all make it to the restaurant without incident. Go ahead, Lily. I'm sorry.
I was looking for where I had contacts on here.
Network.
Network.
It's on the right. General skills.
General skills. Network. Okay. Okay. I do have points in that. I would like to do a little trade off with one of my contacts, so I have thieves tools. Just like a little.
All right.
Maybe set down my luggage for a second, and they set up down their luggage, and we both pick up opposite luggage.
You are you're a bag person. You're a black bagger.
Uh-huh.
You have them. You don't need to spend the point.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I could sneak them on the plane or if that's something that
that's easier to sneak.
Okay. They're hidden in toothbrushes and stuff.
Exactly. You snuck it in your cosmetics
Okay.
case or whatever,
Yeah.
or
That's
or
fine. It's an eyelash
your
holder.
laptop bag or something
Yeah,
like that.
okay. I don't need to switch it. Okay, I already have them.
You already have them.
Okay.
That's your thing. That's what
Yeah.
you do, and you're well versed in bringing that sort of thing home. So it's a crowded and noisy restaurant. There is the smell of strong coffee and hashish in the air.
I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
Of course. And Burroughs, we're going to say that you got there first. You're the wheelman, correct?
Yes.
So you made your way through all the traffic. So when the three of you arrive, you spot Burroughs at a well-chosen table in the back, where you can see and, as much as possible, not be seen.
Since I arrived first, I will make sure that I use my urban survival to make sure I plan to fast exit if we need it.
Excellent.
Gotta watch out for them French restaurants.
Things, yes.
Gotta watch over those French restaurants. That escargot can get you.
There's a water park next door and a golf course nearby. If you happen to be looking at Google Maps.
So his urban survival prepared the escape route goes to the top of the water park, and it's
Right, we slide down.
No, slide.
Good thing blocks are waterproof mostly.
It's your wet work coming into play.
all right. So and Ali, Morgan, and Varette enter. In fact, you guys shared a cab from the airport or whatever. And Ali, you literally almost bump into them at the door. You arrive at the door at the same time.
I'm actually paying the cab, the driver.
Okay.
So I'm a little
I almost bumped
behind.
into the cab.
You almost bump into the
Brakes are
cab.
not working quite right.
You did bump into the cab.
The cab driver honks his horn. Meep, meep.
You leave the car there.
Yep.
I'll give that call about a good 5 minutes before it's in a chop shop.
Some guy in Algiers is wondering where his wheels are.
No, I'm going to I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go in.
I'll begin
spot
pouring
Burke.
coffee for everyone.
You know exactly what corner of the restaurant to look to spot. You know, like if it was me, I would be sitting back there, and sure enough, Burroughs kind of gives you the cool nod.
I look back.
I salute her with my cup of fine Turkish blend.
It's one of those little demi-tasses that,
Yeah.
that leaves the grounds
At
at
the
back.
bottom, yeah.
And it's really fantastic. It's good stuff.
It's not quite tea, but it'll pass.
It's not tea at all. I walk back.
That
to
shit
the
that's straight for
pool.
like
Oh, they
4
have
hours.
green. They have like a green tea with mint in it. Is their thing? Then leave. I just drink my coffee black.
Pretty much the only way they serve it here.
Is this our first mission together since?
Since you found out bad things are happening,
Yeah.
Probably not, because we weren't.
You
on
tell
this-
me.
I'd say probably not, since if we know each other and when we figured out bad things were happening, we were separate, which would mean that something happened between now and then.
It's up to you.
With the nature of
Well,
our
they-
work, though, we could have run into
You know
each other.
You know each other from the business. You know each other from the trade.
They would have known. They
So-
would have probably known that, judging from the way the background design of my character, they probably know that I'm no longer part of MI6.
Yeah.
I've gone rogue.
You're-
You know, so
none of
you all knew each other. So none of you are active agents right now. You
Yeah.
knew each other when you were.
We got out.
You know, you may have jumped. You may have been pushed. You may have been burned. You may have faked your own death. You know, that kind of thing is up to you. But so like, yeah, you've heard. You had worked with Burroughs before, and then you heard that he is no longer with MI6 now. You know, maybe you shared an experience investigating things subsequently. Maybe you just trust each other from being in the business, and you may not quite. Maybe you are not sure the others know about the stuff. That's up to you. You guys work that out among yourselves.
Well, I have my laptop computer bag with me because it says I have a laptop.
That's
So-
also your
Symbol.
symbol, which gives you sanity.
So, I don't know if that's not relevant to what I was going to talk about. I'd like to just walk in the room and sit down and
Okay.
pull up my laptop in front of everybody and start typing.
Just so everyone knows it's you.
Yep. Looking up local water parks.
Burroughs, V,
It's good to see you folks are
Ali.
still above ground.
Morgan.
Bailey,
In the light of day.
Yeah. Lots of bad things happen in the night.
Mm-hmm.
Not safe for us in our jobs anymore.
No. Afraid not.
So I guess we'll haul off here for the same bird.
It seems that way.
So Ollie, we're pretty good with that. What you know on this chick?
I haven't looked her up yet. I was looking to see if there was anything around here that we.
I will tell you that she worked for whatever he said before. She worked for a newspaper that's no longer around, and she is now independent. She's won a few awards, but she is also very dedicated to her work, and she doesn't know how to quit when she gets it over her head. I cannot tell you what deodorant she wears or anything like that. I just know her professional career.
You want to get dirty, Ollie, and find out some more information.
Well, first I was going to see if there's anything around here that we could do while sitting right here with this handy computer, and then we'll hit the street and start talking to people.
Okay, someone among you has criminology or urban survival, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, survival.
I have both.
All right, if you have criminology or urban survival, does anyone not have either of those?
Absolutely.
I don't have either.
I have both.
All right, well, someone's gonna have to bring Ali up to speed on this. You guys have worked Marrakesh before, and you know that it's heavily dependent on tourism. The police are very rough on anybody who threatens the tourist trade. So, like, starting fights definitely is going to get the hammer dropped on you. So, if the conspiracy is looking to to put the bag on Olivia Liu one way or the other, they're going to bring in somebody from outside Morocco. They're not using local talent to be the one to take her out. They don't want someone with a record. They're going to want somebody who's clean and not known to the police. That said, you all just take it as read that they've probably spread some dinars around and are using and hired some local muscle to back them up. You doubt that's going to be anybody you can't handle, but the walls have eyes.
Agent Puppers.
All right.
Well, with
They're going to bring the
criminal-
hit on the outside,
They
not
might
someone
even-
here and here.
But then they might even bring in talent similar to our skills.
True.
Well, that's fantastic.
Speaking of, we need to keep the heat off of us.
Should we get eyes on Olivia?
We do need to put a washer on her.
Mm-hmm.
We lay eyes on it, then we can track down if they want to put a bag or a hit on her.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, some of us do know some people here in town that are shady. Perhaps we should look into them, see if we can find out who's been paid off, who might be the opposition.
Do that.
You guys should also check out around her. She's staying at a hotel,
Yes.
and see who's watching the hotel. Because I bet you it's being watched.
Yes.
I would have it watched.
Stake out.
Da-da. Oh, it's the butts of a gun.
You know she's staying in a hotel in the Jama El Fana, the tourist area around one of the city's largest market squares.
Would that be considered sort of a high society sort of hotel?
That's
Or
a
just
great question.
High level.
No, it's more of a it's more of a touristy place. It is it's designed like a large manor house built around a courtyard in the style of the buildings of the wealthy. So it's not a glass tower, international Marriott kind of thing. It's
more subdued.
yeah,
keeping with
it's
the
a
local
converted.
flavor.
Yeah, it's a converted manor house. It's got a nice courtyard in the middle. You all have tradecraft You've got your laptop open. It doesn't take much work for you to trace her to the Riyadh Rouge.
Okay.
It,
She.
Well, I'm mobile. I could try and get eyes on her. Plus, I'm pretty good at keeping track of what's going on around her. Well, I could track her down, put eyes. Morgan?
Oh, do we have? I guess we all have cell phones. We should.
you do, yeah. You do. You would.
Morgan, what if you see if you can find out what's going on with the local flavor, see who's been paid off.
I excuse myself and head out the door.
He's just gonna go kill people. It'll solve things.
Well, you know,
Who do you work for?
my drive is Slayer.
Do you want me to go with you?
Tell her I'm going. Where am I going?
We're gonna go.
You're going to case the hotel.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think we should see if we can get the room next to her so we can listen. But maybe get some
The
ears.
classic honeymoon suite.
Yes.
All right.
And I will go to the hotel and make sure with tradecraft not to look like I know these two people, but my job at the hotel will be to mark the target and then start using human terrain and urban survival to see who's paying attention to her,
All right.
while trying not to let them pay attention
We
to
should
me.
find her. See if she's actually there.
Well, you're getting there. You've got somebody making their way to the hotel right now.
We're just doing it on foot, I guess.
We go pretend to be sightseeing.
You-
Oh,
Okay,
well, and since I spent the points of preparedness, I'll make sure before we break and leave, I'll make sure that there'll be a discreet pass under the table. I would have, since I have the clocks with silencers, I probably would have also had a large brick of well-used dinars.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll pass cash off to everyone, and a clean piece with a silencer. That way, if we need to grease palms, we got some banknotes to spin around.
Or greased it with blood.
Yeah, that's all standard kit.
Yeah.
So we have our gear now, or something.
You all know. You all have a weapon.
Okay.
The weapon does have a silencer. Silencers don't work like they do in the movies. They don't make the shot silence.
No.
No thwip. But it makes it. It does make it less obvious. It might be less likely to panic a crowd. You've got a wad. It also degrades over time. The more you use it, the less good it is. And you've got a wad of the local currency. So you guys. So where are you guys going again? You're going to the hotel.
We're going to the hotel.
You guys are also going to the hotel.
And a cab.
In a cab.
Yes, we're going to try and get the room next to hers.
You're going to try to get the room next to you. Where were you going?
I'm hitting the streets around the hotel to find some shadier folk to kind of shake down or bribe.
And you have tradecraft or notice.
I have notice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
Tradecraft.
So this restaurant is just near the airport. You see, as you leave the restaurant, you see a cab driving by that has obviously just left the airport, and a couple of figures in it catch your eye because they are clearly foreign. They're not from around here, and you see one guy with a blonde crew cut that just screams special forces to you.
Okay.
He is accompanied by a kind of a darker skinned woman of slighter build with her curly hair is pulled back into a messy ponytail.
Okay.
And something about her, she just seemed weird. She just seemed like a little bit overboard on the new age. And she's like got crystals hung around her neck. And
Keep the mage first.
Yeah. They strike you as an unlikely couple, but the cab passes by, and you spot those two. They got try and they're gone.
Okay.
You
Were they
get-
coming out of the hotel?
They were coming out of the airport.
Okay.
Their taxi was leaving the airport, so
Okay.
they apparently have just arrived via plane.
Okay.
By the time the cab vanishes into the traffic before you are able to see where they went.
Sure.
Exactly.
Do we have communication stuff?
Yeah, you guys have mobile phones.
Okay.
Bluetooth.
Anything.
But this is when we were
ordinary.
leaving the air. Well,
You just after you. Okay, so the
This is
restaurant you were
before
at
the
was
restaurant.
next to the
Oh.
airport.
okay, gotcha.
So, and you're leaving the restaurant. As you step out of the restaurant, this cab goes by that has just left the airport, and like literally the windows pass right by you, and like you're looking right through it, and you spot these two guys, and you just
Are we all outside when this happens?
you stepped out of the restaurant before they
Okay.
left, so you're the only one who saw them.
I'll put a call in
Okay.
to.
Do you snap a picture?
It was like it was instantaneous. You are positive that you can give the basic description: blonde, crew cut, SAS type, dark hair, ponytail, new agey. You could relay
All
that
the burgers.
description to the others, and you have no doubt you'd recognize them again. That's notice. You notice them. You were going to the hotel first, correct?
Yes.
To sort of scout.
To try and put eyes on the target.
Excellent. And you have urban survival,
Yes.
I believe. All right, you get to the you get out of your cab, and
Actually, probably I take my Land Rover.
you take your Land Rover. Yeah, you got
Park it in a good spot where I know I can get to it easily.
All right. Well, it's got valet.
Of course.
If you want to use that,
Sure.
or you could you know how to do that. You park, so you dispose of your car in the prescribed manner, and you're just emerging and heading towards the doors of the hotel. It's got one of those deals with the awnings, right? And you instantly notice there are a couple of young toughs lounging on a motorcycle just across the street from the hotel.
I also have criminology. Do they also?
They're goons. These guys are thugs. I mean, you know the type. You know them. You've been one.
Doesn't look like the type of area that thugs would hang out on regularly.
Definitely not. These guys are out of place.
Are there any law enforcement officers nearby? Because I have cop talk too.
There's a security officer inside the lobby. There are not any cops like on the street right now, but you could speak to hotel security if you wanted to.
Well, since I do have 2 points in cop talk, I would probably just nonchalantly, as I'm making my way to check in.
Hold on. Before you do that, would you like to spend a point of notice?
Spend a point.
Yes.
Damn, I've only got 1. Very well. I will sacrifice a point of notice for the team because it sounds important.
Okay.
Have one. I don't even have one.
Your instincts kick in when you see the two thugs. Your instincts kick in. If there are two guys who are not making any pretense of being subtle, you immediately look for the guy you look for the third raptor that's coming in from the side. And in a cafe at the end of the street, you see a white untanned man wearing an earpiece.
That's not obvious at all.
Yeah.
Well,
It could be a
Head
it
fake.
might not be. It might not be for like your average tourist. I mean, most of the locals would probably just dismiss him as a tourist. Just another white guy slumming it in Marrakesh. Read too many William S. Burroughs books. The locals would just dismiss him that way. Tourists will just think he's one of them. And if they notice the earpiece, they would probably just figure he's some kind of, security for the guard, for the cafe or something like that, or a bodyguard for someone's inside. I mean, they may know that he's kind of a heavy, but not necessarily anything sinister. You guys spot the earpiece. I mean, you guys, you know, he's a player. He's in the same game you are.
Well, I will continue to make my way into the hotel in order to try to scope out the target. And then, of course, once I know that V and Ali are here, I can try and then get them to babysit. And then probably would help if I could get myself in a position so I could start using some human terrain and urban survival to start plotting an escape, because it looks like she's hemmed in. I'll also try to as I'm making my way in, I will try to nonchalantly look like I'm, looking at my phone to find something and try and catch a picture of that guy, so I can show it to Ali later.
All right,
You could just text
you
it.
managed.
And text it to me. Yeah.
He's at the end of the block. You managed to grab one, but the quality isn't great. Like, you don't get the earpiece. You don't have that kind. Like when you zoom in quite a bit, the resolution fades. It's it's pretty recognizable, but you couldn't you don't think you could show it to the police and start a manhunt or something like that.
But then I'll make sure I relay that to the rest of the team.
Right, but yes, and the rest of you. So Burroughs reports in that someone seems to be keeping an eye on her hotel. Anyway,
I head that way.
all right, and you guys are pulling up. Hey,
Yeah.
you get inside.
We're together.
Right, you guys are pulling up. You're heading to like the front desk, basically. Trying to. Is that
It's all planned, yes.
awesome? So the clerk is kind of, just working his way through college, handling the tourist trade. Hey, he greets you politely in English. How can I help you?
Oh yeah, we're looking for a room. Last time we stayed in room, whatever.
Do we know what room she's in?
You do not. You know she's in the hotel. You don't know what room she's in, but hey, you're talking to a hotel clerk. He'd probably know.
Oh yeah, I guess we could start with the bribing.
You
Hold
could you could spend a point of negotiation to bribe him. You could spend, or you
okay.
could try to. The register is a book, actually. So
I'm going to tell him that my good friend Olivia is staying here. I'm not quite sure what room she's in. If you could put this near her, that would be very nice.
just step to the white courtesy phone there, ma'am, and state the name of your party. You'll be connected.
Okay, I'll do that.
You could always flirt with him.
The phone in her room, the phone rings. You ask to pick up the thing, state the name of your party, please. Olivia Liu. The phone rings and rings and rings and rings, and no one picks up.
Well, like I could keep calling and you could figure out a true
Okay.
phone that
I get the big book to sign in and then look for her name.
Okay. You're gonna have to, basically what you're gonna do here is you need to distract him. I mean, this is kind of his job, but spend a point of streetwise, and you can cook up a story that gets him to turn away for a minute.
How
And
about not streetwise? Because I don't have that.
do you have negotiation?
Yes.
You can. He's a college kid. You can slip him 50 dinars and say, "Hey, look, I really need to know where she is," and he'll pony it up.
Okay.
Try and impress your wife.
Okay.
All right. At this point, you're just arriving.
Okay.
You spot the guys on the motorcycles. You can see the blonde. You've been alerted to the blonde guy down the street. You see he's still there. What are you doing at this point?
Well, now
You
that I
were
know that,
scouting around.
now that I know that Ali and V are here, I'm probably going to just make my way through the hotel, trying to see if I can catch sight of Lou or anyone else that looks like they shouldn't be. That doesn't look like a tourist.
All right, and you're kind of sticking on the main floor, basically, because you don't know what floor she lives on.
Right.
Yeah. No, you think the three outside are. There's no one else in the lobby. There's no one staking out the lobby. There's no one like lurking, clinging to the ceiling or anything like that. So yeah, you think it's a small team, and you pretty sure you spotted. At least you spotted anyone who's anywhere you're capable of spotting them. Okay, you know that she is in room 320.
So, who wants the room?
She's not answering. Do we even want to get a room or just want to go there?
We need to check on her.
Okay. We're just going to go there.
Yeah.
Alright,
I faked looking like I was signing in, so.
that's fine.
Texas to Morgan.
Are you
320.
Are you
Yeah,
going up this
text the
group?
room number.
Are you going up? At this point, you're all at least in the lobby or close to it. Are you going to go up here together? Or are you going to?
No, I think the two of us are going.
I think
I'm
we're
going.
let them continue as the couple, and then you and I hang back. Do you want
take the
to?
stairs.
Do you want to watch the lobby and I tail them?
Sure.
All right. You saw the guy with the earpiece.
Awesome. All right, you guys get up to 320, and the door is slightly ajar.
I'm going to open it.
All right, you push the door open, and there is a tough, just a punk, thug kind of guy rummaging through her room. She's nowhere to be seen, and this guy is like rummaging through her bags. He, as you open the door, he turns and looks at you. You're obviously not Olivia Lou either, and
Sacred Lord, what are you doing in our room?
and he
What are you doing? This is our room. Why are you in our room?
he strikes a martial arts pose and attacks you.
Well, so far, so much for what I was going to try and do.
Oh, he's attacking you. What are you doing?
I'm going to defend myself.
Quick, throw Ollie at him.
Go
get him, Ollie.
Honey, this bed is in our room. Call security, quick.
He basically
I don't think he's here to join us.
he runs up and he's literally going to try to kick you out the door. He is going to spend some points in his hand-to-hand. Is your hit? So you've got a hit threshold. That's how hard it is to hit you.
Yeah.
You got an 8.
Yeah, I have a 4.
Yeah. He connected with you solidly.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to do 2 points of damage. And you go staggering out of the, he kicked you out of the doorway. You go staggering out into the hall, holding whatever body part he just kicked. And he just like right next to you. You're standing right there.
Convenient, I'll hit him.
All right.
So-
So you have a certain number of points in hand to hand. You can. It is a D6 to exceed their hit threshold. You can spend to boost that roll in advance.
I can spend as many as I want, or
Yes, but at the end of a scene, that's going to refresh, but those points will run out eventually. One thing that's kind of cool about this game is you are trained in hand-to-hand. So once per session, if you describe a really cool, I'm a well-trained spy maneuver for martial arts or shooting or driving or whatever, you get an automatic 3-point refresh.
okay, well then I'll spend 3 points and try to refresh it. So I have an 8.
Oh yeah, you nail him. Okay, so roll a d6 and subtract 2. That is his damage.
A whopping 2.
That's okay.
I kick him, and he also flies back, and he knocks over the little pole lamp that every
Yeah.
hotel room has.
Crash. Okay.
Then I want to just draw a gun on him. Can I do that? That's kind of a whatever action.
No, it's
Okay.
not battery.
The guys. Okay, there's a crash upstairs. The guys on the motorcycle heard it, and they're looking at each other.
Yeah, I heard it really.
They heard a crash in room 3.
It's facing the street.
But that's
Is the window open?
Conveniently, yes.
Conveniently,
Kick the guy into the room and it knocks stuff over it.
it knocked over a lamp, but lamps fall over all the time, I'm sure.
They know what room they're watching.
Okay.
They saw the guy go against the glass.
Yeah.
This
His face is
Since I was following them, I'll make sure I text Morgan that something's going on in room 302,
Alright, I take the stairwell.
320.
320.
Okay. All right, you guys go pounding up there. You were
I was their tail. I was their backup.
right. So you go up first. You're just a couple of steps behind him, and as you kind of look over your shoulder and you see the two guys on the motorcycle heading into the lobby.
Okay.
They've just gotten off their motorcycle. They're heading this way.
I am not in the lobby. I'm going to the stairwell. But
Okay.
when I get to the third floor, I'm staying in the stairwell, kind of keeping an eye on the elevator
Excellent.
and the stairwell.
Very good. You've got eyes on that. So they're going to get one more round in the room, and then you'll arrive. Okay. Lily, what are you going to do? You get up. That guy thinks he's pretty badass.
I'm going to throw him out the window.
Okay.
Accidents happen.
Accidents happen. He leaked out the smoke too far.
All right. I mean, you totally can do that. That would definitely draw heat. You've been seen going. There are cameras in the lobby. You've been seen going in. I mean, like I said, you could do it, but the police are going to want to talk to you after that.
We haven't been. Are cameras in all the hallways?
Yes.
You can still attack them.
You can still attack him. I mean,
Okay.
just like murdering him in a really flashy way that's bound to attract notice.
I'm just gonna smash his head in the TV then.
Yeah, beautiful. Do it. That would be a just give me a hand-to-hand check. Roll a d6. Tell me if you're adding anything to it.
4.
She did.
Okay. That is a hit. You pick him up, smash his head into the TV. Give me a d6 minus 1 for damage.
5.
He is out.
Do not hit me!
I didn't like that shell either.
The TV kind of sparks, pss, pss, pss. And he was limp. He's still breathing, but he's out of it. He was not the badass he thought he was. You're covering the door with the gun.
Yes.
You're watching the elevator. You're just stepping
To the hallway.
into the hallway. You all know. You tell them that the other two guys are coming. So yeah, so you know that you're going to have company in a few minutes. You've got a moment to prepare.
Did you guys run a room?
Yes, but is she in here?
You haven't you have not actually checked in yet. You found out where she was.
Is she? But she's not in the room at all.
She is totally not. You have a moment. Yeah, you can look around. It's a room and a bathroom. She is not here. She's not under the bed. She's not in the closet. She is gone. You do have a moment. While they're coming up the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
You could toss the room real quickly.
Yes, let's toss the room and then try to get out of here.
Do you
Awesome.
want to do it and I'll stay guard, or
Yes, you
No,
stay
you
there.
guys toss the room. I'll watch.
Okay, because you're almost there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the stairs and you're watching the door. There is. Okay, one of the things, there's like a small pile of stuff that apparently this one goon set aside that he was going to take with him, and there is a scribbled note with the address in Marrakesh for someone called Hassan Safet. Hassan Safet, S-A-F-E-T, excuse me.
All right. Well,
Looks like it was scrawled hastily, like someone's taking a note that they're being told over the
I'm just
phone.
going to scoot all of it into my bag, like my big old handbag.
You can spend a point of streetwise, or you can spend a point of network to recognize that name.
I'll spin network. Sure.
Yeah, you know that guy. Wait a minute, he's like Hassan Safet. You know that guy. He's a fixer. You know that he's a fixer. not really criminal, but he's the kind of guy who can get you what you want, whether it's legal or otherwise.
I've
As
dealt with him
long as you
before.
don't ask too many questions. Yeah, you've dealt with this guy before. You've worked with him.
Hey, son!
You know that he is himself not a bad guy, but he doesn't ask questions, so he works with bad people
Right.
sometimes.
Sure. So do I. So fair enough.
You see travel documents and like her crumpled up airplane ticket. There is a wadded up Expedia inventory indicating that she is planning on taking a trip to Romania.
Does it say when she's leaving?
It does. I mean, within the week. You see, she has a notebook, one of those reporter's notebooks that's about half this size, right? That flips over the top. This is her suitcase the lining of it has been torn open, and this notebook is sticking out of it. So he is apparently the goon who's just in the process of finding it, and it looks like she's gone to some lengths to conceal it. But this guy found it for you.
Convenient.
Tradecraft.
We should hire him.
No.
When he moves into the big leagues.
And you just flip through it real quick, and she has made there are notes she has taken again, mostly as if she has been just kind of doing social engineering over the phone. You're just calling, but there is a new industrial mining project in the Carpathian Mountains. There are also in her suitcase printouts of documents about vampire folklore, buried bodies, and Wallachian warlords.
She knows too much.
Looks like she's like she may be planning on writing one of those gothic romance novels.
Oh, pararomantic.
But who has research or data recovery?
I have research and where's data recovery?
There's
have
having
both. I don't have
research
that.
is enough.
I have both.
Yeah, with those skills, you're going to be able to. I mean, you won't be able to do it in the context of flipping a couple of pages of her notebook while the other two bad guys are coming, but you see enough information in there that if you get a chance to study this notebook, you'll be able to figure out where this location is.
I think we should take the stuff and go.
Okay.
Okay. You can all make an athletics check to get the heck out of Dodge before the other two guys show up.
I am going
Like,
to
you
spend
flat out run.
I must spend 2 points.
Okay.
I think it was been 2.
That's a 4.
6.
I am going to spend 2 points.
Okay.
I just rolled a 5.
There you
4.
go.
Awesome. And you rolled a 5?
Yeah.
I have a 6.
Okay, you all know how to make yourself scarce. So yeah, you know, watching the stairs, they're not coming up the stairs. You don't hear them, so you just kind of motion them over. You all book it down the stairs just as the door closes. Just as ding as the elevator doors.
I want to make a point to say that when I left the room, I made sure to leave the room so it locked.
Awesome, that's fine. Yeah,
Since we're all running down the stairs together, I'll lead them to my.
Also, I'm wearing
conveniently-
gloves so that no finger
Tradecraft
runs.
101.
Sure.
I'll lead over to my conveniently placed Land Rover so we make a
Yeah.
discreet, slow getaway.
We'll pretend like we're sightseers. Oh, look, there's something.
So at this point, you know that the bad guys are after. The bad guys seem to be on to Olivia. She's heading to Hassan Safat
Yes.
still in the Jamal El Fana tourist area.
Yeah, we should probably go there.
She almost certainly went on foot.
Let's take long way.
We'll probably be there since we're traveling in a vehicle.
Do you think some of us should walk on foot and some of us should travel by view? So that we can have eyes out to see if anyone crowds are.
In the given that like Marrakesh is one of those places where there's a lot of pedestrian traffic in the street, you're probably not going to buy yourself a whole lot of speed traveling by vehicle to get to this place.
I will.
You can still like kind of drive around if that's what you want to do.
Well, I'll probably
can
get
I say,
get close.
Can we like? Can I get out and like slip down an alley and like climb on top of a roof and just jump over roofs very discreetly?
No,
With
you can't do
parkour.
that discreetly, but
I have parkour. I can do things that are cool.
you absolutely can do it. You can climb. Absolutely, you can climb up to the roof.
I could do stealth. I could do it stealthily.
Yeah, you can
I'm
do
good
it so
with-
no one sees you climbing using the ladder you're not supposed to use to climb up sleep. But once you start running and jumping over rooftops,
I can time up so that it's ideal.
you
It's like
can use
something.
yourself to be as minimally obtrusive as possible.
Okay.
But you know, I cannot promise that no one's going to notice you running along the roof. The buildings around here are 2 stories tall. They're
close together.
They generally have kind of arched, pillared overhangs, so the top story is a little wider, and it kind of creates like a sort of an open corridor along the side of the room, so it's nice and shady in the hot Marrakesh sun. Because it's hot, most of the windows on the second floor are open, and you've got faces, looking down, looking over, looking out over the crowd, yelling, things in Arabic to each other. And so someone running along the rooftop could be, someone glanced up, they could spot you. I'll grant you're not making a heck of a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But there's a possibility.
Okay.
But you're
I'll
doing
go on
Yes, it
foot.
seems like it would be faster than going through the crowd.
absolutely.
I'll try to position the vehicle at an advantageous place if we need to make a getaway.
Awesome. You are.
So I'll keep in touch
You're
with them and
pre-positioned. Yeah, you're
let
pre.
them know where I'm going to leave the car for a getaway.
Well, and yeah, absolutely. That is good. So you are moving the car.
What's the quickest way to
Ollie.
Hassan?
You Google Maps it, and it gives you directions.
Is it on foot? Is it?
Yeah, it would be on foot. Basically, this is like a big bazaar.
I'm gonna call him. He's
Sure.
in my phone.
Yeah.
So
He's
I'm
in your
gonna call
contacts.
him.
Absolutely, sure. He picks up.
Hey Hassan, this is Ali.
Ali, my friend, how are you?
I'm excellent.
It's been too long.
It has.
Keeping out of trouble?
Of course not.
Excellent.
Speaking of trouble,
Are you here in Marrakesh?
yeah, I'm on my way to see you. You gonna be there in say 10 minutes?
I'll put the coffee on.
Excellent. Hey, have you seen a girl named Olivia? She said she was on her way to see you.
No, but are you bringing her to me? I'd love to meet her.
I don't know yet.
All right. Well, I'll put on an extra cup of coffee. But no, there's no one like that here right now.
Okay.
If
If she shows up before me, keep her there. Stall.
Sure.
Also, watch out for thugs.
I'll show by her.
He says, "Wait, you say Olivia?
Yes, Olivia.
She's in my appointment book. She's coming here. If you want to meet her, maybe I can introduce you.
Oh, excellent. What time is that appointment?
It's for within the next half hour.
Okay.
She's coming here right now.
I guess you'll need to put in more coffee.
I'll do that. See you in a few, my friend.
All right.
I'm going through the market,
Right.
keeping an eye out for the thugs and to those 2 that I identified earlier to see if I see them. But I'm doing nonchalant stuff like I'm a tourist. I'm stopping at
Sure.
briefly
Postcards.
at booths, postcards, grabbing some street food, blending in, and moving towards your destination.
Awesome.
Kind of keeping away from them, so if somebody spots them before me, then I can rush them from behind.
Does
In an
Morgan
alley or
have
something.
human terrain?
He does.
That really helps you blend in to look like a local. So make it harder for him to notice you.
Sure.
All right. So you guys are following. You're driving. You're a little bit behind. You're kind of distracted by the phone call, but you're kind of also heading that way. But you guys are going to be the lead team for at least for this round. You guys are going to be the lead team on the
Oh, I
chase.
text everyone to let you know that
Okay.
Olivia's on her way there. She's supposed to be there at 4 or whatever.
You all have tradecraft.
Yes.
Okay.
It's under
Yes,
interpersonal.
yes.
Okay. You you spot people who are watching the crowd. You spot people and you recognize this tactic. You recognize this technique. The bad guys seem to have eyes on Olivia, and they are putting her in what is in the classic floating box. So they've got lots of flunkies on the street, and they're not risking alerting her to the fact that she has a tail by sending just one or two people to follow her. But so they've got people spaced out along the route, and like one person will follow her from a point to a point and then stop and then relay, almost like a relay race. So like then they will like tag in the second person who will follow her. So if she looks behind her, there's always someone following her for a distance, but it's never the same person, so she doesn't get suspicious. This is Tradecraft 101, and so you recognize what they're doing.
Okay.
The people who are doing the following are probably they just probably spread around some money to the widows and orphans in the bazaar, and just say, hey, see pretty American tourist, follow her for this far, and then tag somebody else in. So they're probably not really deep into it. They almost certainly don't know why they're following her, but you know that she's got to be up ahead somewhere, and the bad guys are closing in. So what you're going to do? So
When you guys were researching her, did you, or does our contact give us what she looks like in image?
yeah, you totally have a picture.
Okay.
You have many
Do
pictures.
we spot her?
You do not see her right now.
Okay.
So this is a chase, but it's a different kind of chase in that she's not running from anybody. So basically, you're trying to catch up to her before the bad guys catch up to her.
Sure.
So it's almost like a race instead of a chase. And you gave me like this awesome. You're doing this awesome parkour stuff.
Yeah.
So give me
Athletics.
an athletics, and you get a 3-point refresh to that because
Yes.
I like your description. So
Oh.
add 3 points to your athletics pool,
Okay.
and then spend whatever you want on that for an athletics roll.
I'm
What's-
gonna roll spend 3 points.
Okay.
They don't fall through.
7.
Okay. And then the bad guys spend some. Okay.
Hey, did our scene change? Did my hand-to-hand refresh?
Technically, that's on 24-hour rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I need to do some cool hand-to-hand.
Yeah. Anything physical, you have to
Yeah.
spend 24 hours resting for it to refresh.
Correct.
Not 24 hours resting, just 24 hours.
A day.
Yeah, you spend resting.
Okay.
It refreshes after 24 hours. That's what it says. I would put a cheat sheet on the back of your.
Go take a nap for 24 hours. Sorry, guys.
Take an Ambien. Pass out.
Basically, what you get the next day.
Okay.
24 hours since last use.
All right. You are kind of tracking along. You don't think you're moving in the same direction she is, but you don't know if you are. You don't know if you're catching up. You think at this point, this lead off round of this chase, the situation remains the same as it did when it started. So now, any of the three of you can basically one of you will represent the team. Say what you're doing to get close to her,
Okay.
and then we'll make a test.
I'll just press forward. Do I spot the thugs though? So
Yes. Well, and they're not really
Well-
thugs there, but you spot the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
to get ahead of them, I will show the locals that there's. I don't want to draw attention to us.
You have intimidation, don't you?
You kicked out the scene.
Hmm?
Like,
Knock over a fruit.
Well, I was going to knock
cart.
over a stand or something in the
my
way.
cabbages!
But when I was getting closer, that's not something more I do when I was closer. I just want to use athletics to see if I can gain.
Awesome.
I'll spend 3 points.
Awesome. Ooh.
That's 5.
Okay, you kind of like push your way through the crowd. You kind of like dodge someone's pushing a you dodge a bicycle that's comes winging through the crowd, and you just kind of like do a kind of a spin move that would make a toreador proud, and you really book it. You feel very confident in your progress. You know you've been you're catching up to her.
Okay.
And you see some of the people that got her on surveillance start pointing at you,
Oh,
and they're like,
wow. You got noticed.
I'm going to get Jason Bourne up in here.
Bam. Roll up a magazine.
okay, what are you guys? So who's next?
I'm in the car.
Okay.
It's all you guys.
As you guys press forward, you're running over the rooftops. You see people start to emerge from these arch doorway kind of things, and they start making their way towards Morgan. And they're looking at the other white. Well, actually, no. You're Turkish.
I'm chatting on my phone with
They don't spot you yet.
I'm chatting on my phone with a bag in my hand.
Can I let
But
Morgan
there's-
know that he has incoming?
Yeah, you can spot them too. They're looks like they did send a thug or two out, but they're going to try to physically impede you at this point.
Mook fight.
You also know that this is a good thing, because that's not the standard procedure. So you must be getting close if they're sending people after you.
Sure.
So the two guys are going to try to, I mean, literally, they're not being subtle about it. One guy stands in front of you, the other guy is going to try to grab your arm. So it is we're going to make an athletics contest
Okay.
to see if they're just going to try to restrain you. They don't have eyes on you, so you can move forward, and you can move forward on the rooftops.
I'll spend 3 more.
It's kind of all or nothing.
Yeah.
But
I want to get.
oh,
Well, that's 5.
I rolled a 1, so they get a 4. Like, get your hands off me. There is they don't want to draw the kind of attention that a knockdown, drag-out fight's going to do, but so like there's like a bit of a scuffle, but you kind of insert a little
face.
Yeah, you throw a little jujitsu on them. You hip toss one of them to the ground, and just kind of shove the other one out of the way, and you're lost in the crowd by the time they pick themselves up.
Okay.
So, but that kind of, they blocked your way for this round. So
Sure.
it's going to have to be one of these two
Okay.
to chase after her.
She's on the roof.
You're on the roof. You're working the crowd. One of the two of you can make a check to try to close the distance.
Do you want to? You're on the roof, so
I'm
run.
going to continue, like, jumping.
All right, you parkour over. That is an athletics check, I presume.
I'm going
You
to
see people on the ground starting to run. And, well,
Didn't need that one.
that's
why I have so many.
That's why I got lots of dice here.
I am going to spend 2.
Okay,
Bam!
I have lots of dice that roll 1s, so
great dice for the GM to have.
We've put the dice down there a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You, bouncing from rooftop to rooftop, you look down, you see a woman wearing kind of a stylish, sort of punky blazer. It's got some, like, badges. She's got a big old messenger bag on her hip. She's obviously Chinese American, and you recognize from her picture Olivia Liu is right below you.
He's screaming.
There are eyes on her, but no one is, but again, the people watching her are deliberately hanging back. They're just keeping eyes on her.
Can I drop down from the rooftop?
You totally can. There's like a drain pipe.
Yes, and I'm going to go up to her. I'm going to say, pretend like I'm your old friend. I'm here to protect you.
Okay, awesome. That is going to be a reassure check.
Well, I don't have that, but I can still roll it.
You can still roll it.
3.
Just
Flirt with her.
protect me from what?
There are people falling in. Just, it's okay. There are people who know that you know stuff. More than you should know. I'm just here to protect you. It's okay. Just pretend like we're all friends. I tell you a joke, you laugh.
What's your name?
Oh, you can call me V. Just call me V.
She's like, V, so good to see you. Sorry.
Oh.
What are you doing here in Marrakesh? And she's,
Oh, no, I'm vacationing.
all right. You kind of take her by the arm. You guide her through the crowd.
Yeah.
You're like running up after them.
I'm being chatty.
You're being chatty.
Like we're old girlfriends.
You guide them away from. You guide them away from Hassan's office door into the waiting door of the Land Rover. Doors slam, and Burroughs hits it.
Quickly make a nonchalant exit, casually, because you don't want to draw too much attention.
You quickly make a casual exit.
Yes, but I'm keeping an eye out for a tail.
And you actually got her. You got her out. You kind of whisked them out from under the noses of the people who were boxing her in. The thing about the floating box is, again, they're just watching her. They're not supposed to interfere, and kind of you threw a monkey wrench into their plans. And so by the time they got on their phones and say, we need backup and stuff like that, so Olivia Liu does vanish, but she vanishes into the hands of the good guys and not the bad guys.
At this point, I'm going to use 2 points of my network to recall that I have a friend in Marrakesh that always keeps a place that I can stay overnight that's safe. So I'll take us to a safe house for the
I
night.
have a place.
Well,
Yeah, he actually has
Yeah.
a place. You don't have to.
This way yours won't get burned.
It's a one shot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to spend that.
That's my
much time.
safety, so it's going to be safe.
Right. And you're not. As you will when Olivia starts talking to you, you will realize that you're not staying in Marrakesh very long. So yeah, you just need someplace to.
can Hassan join us so that she gets her meeting with him? Or
Um,
is that a bad idea?
it's a bad idea. The bad guys know that she was heading to Hassan's, and his place is going to be watched.
We can do a telephone conversation between them.
You can always
In our-
call Hassan. And
I'll call Hassan and
you
tell
met
him.
you met Olivia along the way, and you stopped for coffee somewhere.
I'll call Hassan and tell him I haven't seen Olivia, but that something held me up,
Awesome.
and that his place is being watched.
I know, my friend. It becomes an instinct. Take care of yourself. Next time you're in Marrakesh, look me up.
I thumb it up through the phone.
Okay. All right. You can refresh athletics, driving, hand-to-hand, piloting, shooting, weapons, and any 3 other general abilities.
Okay.
So, you kind of.
What about hit
debrief.
points? Do her hit points refresh? Did she could?
I think we get
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Someone can try.
I have medic.
Make a medic roll.
I'll spend 2 points in medic. That gives me a total of 5.
You recover 1 of the 2 points of damage.
And then I'll refresh my medic. And doesn't it say that if we get a good night's rest, Health refreshes 2 points a day. Wrestle
That
activity.
is correct.
So at least overnight she'll get the other point back.
Right. I mean, you
I'll get the first aid kit out of the back.
you'll be a little stiff. You'll be a little stiff, but
I've been worse.
yeah, you've
Not as bad as that dude.
What?
Not as bad as the dude that got his MTE.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is probably just about now waking up with his.
He has glass in his face.
Hotel security's asking me, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing with this TV on your head?"
I'd probably charge him for it too. It's like,
We can charge you $200 for the TV, or you'll give us a $100 bribe. We look the other way.
I was just waiting for you to say something like it's time to change the channel or
That doesn't seem like something
It's
my
like this.
character would do.
that's totally. So Olivia is she tells us she's a journalist. She kind of recognizes, like I was in trouble, wasn't I? Yeah. She tells you she was investigating corporate corruption. She says, this is hotter than I thought. She was contacted by a mysterious source who sent her information about the Romanian mining industry, of all things, mixed with lots of weird stuff about vampires.
Yes, I've been learned on that.
Really?
Yes.
It's not a bunch of junk? I thought he was pulling my leg.
I show her the scar with my hand from where the creature bit me.
Her eyes get really big. It's like, wow.
It's not fun.
No, this is cool because like I just thought this was like some weirdo with a vampire
this
thing.
is much serious.
It's like
Yes.
I thought. Well, yeah, I can. I can tell you guys obviously know what you're doing. I just thought it was just like somebody who read too many Anne Rice novels, but their goods on the corporation were spot on.
This is not fiction.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm a writer. I know the difference between. I just thought this source just had this weird thing going on. But the thing is, the intel was good. I was willing to play along. I thought vampires, yeah, right, buddy. But the intel was good. So they sent me information about a particular mining company, and I checked into them. And it turns out that this company has got a new exploratory dig in the Carpathian Mountains. So I've done some digging, and well, yeah, that
Some digging into that mining corporation.
sometimes I surprise myself, but well, I looked into this. Okay, you guys obviously don't have a background in mining, but there are things that you do to there are all kinds of paperwork you have to find, especially in the EU, right? In order to extract ore, things like that. None of that has happened. So this dig is going forward, but they're not pulling anything. They're not pulling any ore out of the ground. I'll tell you that much. It would be illegal as heck. They're also not moving in the kind of equipment you would expect. Surveyors, believe me, one of the things about my job, guys, I'll tell you this, is you get to learn a lot of stuff about a lot of different things. And so I know way more about mining than I ever thought I would or want to, really. But she's like, nah, blah, 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 blah. But she's telling you like that there's all kinds of stuff you have to do to prepare for mining. Surveying, exploratory sites, environmental impact statements, yada, 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 yada. Nothing. Not a thing. She's checked the EU offices like they don't know it exists. As far as they're concerned, no one's doing a dig. And no corporation would dare just blast open the side of a mountain and sink a mine shaft right in the middle of the EU with all that stuff done, because they get shut down. So anyway, I went digging. There I go again. I went looking into this thing, and I went there, and I'm sorry, Velred, I apologize to you. The information from Romania, she has been to Romania. She wasn't going there. The information you found, the travel itinerary for Romania, she had already been. Okay, so I tried to get close to the place, got shot at, and look, you guys look like you can handle yourselves, but I'm just one lady with a laptop, and I've never fired a gun in my life, so I know when I'm in over my head. I've booked it, but I did take some pictures they didn't know about, and she hands you a SIM card. Here's a copy of it. You'll pull them up on your laptop when after you're finished dropping them off, and it looks like rather than a mining operation, they're exhuming the remains of a medieval castle. And
That's a little good.
no, that's no good. So you kind of tune Olivia out at this point because you've got.
Already have.
But you're all looking at each other. So she thinks she knows something weird's going on. She thinks that this is just some kind of like weirdo corporate corruption, like try to maybe grab some illicit uranium, whatever. You guys are looking. You're seeing monastery, Carpathian Mountains, Transylvania, and none of that adds up to anything good. Who has data recovery?
I do.
I do.
Okay. So you guys have successfully rescued Olivia. Yeah, thank you. You guys have successfully rescued Olivia. You'll put her on a plane back to the States. You may or may not. Do you tell her you'll be in touch?
Sure.
Discreetly.
Yeah, so like, hey, thank you. I mean, really would have hate to have stepped in it just then. So I'll be waiting for word for you. Keep me posted. Let me know what you come up with. We'll nail those corporate crooks together, right? Right. So she high fives all of you and gets on her plane and goes on with her happy life. Meanwhile, so she's on that SIM card was a copy of the data that her source sent you. Do you mind for looking over your shoulder on your laptop? Does that bother you? All right, so you're like
Close the porn tabs.
so.
Minimize, not close. Over there.
So looking over the data that you got sent, you can tell it's from the same source that sent you after Olivia.
Okay.
So this guy, whoever it is, or woman, first sicked Olivia on these people. Then she got in trouble and realized needed heavier hitters to keep her from getting burned. Got a hold of you people. So this person is trying to get the goods on this mining operation, and you are able to trace the IP address to a source in London. And so you've got it. So while you guys discuss among yourselves what the next plan is going to be, we are going to take a short break. So we will be back in just a few minutes with the next part of the Harker intrusion. See you soon.
It's going to be intrusive.
People kill you. Which is the others. Hi, we're back. We're about to start part 2 of the Harker intrusion. Our team of agents has successfully rescued journalist Olivia Liu from the clutches of they're not even sure who, and now they plot their next move. What's it going to be, team?
Romania.
Get us a fast plane.
Awesome. How are you getting there?
Well, since I know people, I will spend some of my pilot, which will allow me to arrange the proper flight path, and then I will get us a plane and fly us there.
Awesome. What do you come up with?
Let's see. We don't want to be too flashy, so probably just like a
Old
car.
DC-3?
Yeah, a DC-10. It gets the job done. Doesn't look good, but the most comfortable thing in the world. But you can smoke.
Okay, thank you. I do smoke on the flight.
You
So
come
get us
up-
like a DC-10 or something like
Yeah,
that.
you come up with an older, like, turboprop
Yeah.
A turboprop kind of puddle jumper. Seats about 8, and you're able to arrange that. You get the feeling that people who rented it to you are kind of shady, so they don't ask too many questions. But
Neither do we. Plus, since I arranged a proper flight path, nobody will question anything we put on the plane.
that's exactly right.
I laugh at the plane choice and slap you on the back and say, just like Bangladesh, eh?
Hopefully, I don't end up like Bangladesh, mate. Hopefully, this time.
We don't crash the plane.
Well, I didn't crash the plane in Bangladesh. Bloody well got shot down off from under me.
I remember crashing.
You walked away, mate.
That doesn't mean it didn't crash.
So, off to Romania.
Off to Romania. It is
Trail by map.
Travel by map.
yeah, you got this little dot. And it's you can't make a direct flight, so you fly across the Mediterranean to southern Italy. You have to make a stop. You have to refuel. You guys may want to, by the time all that's over, you may want to spend the night either there or after the airport. Once you get to the airport, just grab yourself a hotel because you're gonna be kind of ragged out for that many hours of flying. And let's face it, traveling in the back of one of these things is not the most comfortable experience. So you do get where do you decide to stay? Romania or Italy? Here's just where you're going to spend the night. You're the pilot.
Probably Italy. Less eyes on us in Italy.
Less eyes, better food.
Yeah.
No offense, Romania or anything, but all right. Yeah. So you just grab a you rack out at a little hotel next to the airport. Get going the next day. So it is you arrive early in the morning. At the airport, arrange yourself some transportation. You are headed to a site known as Solard. Who's been researching this place while you guys have been flying?
Research.
I could.
Volat, you.
Well, I've been to Romania before.
Yes, you have. So you've actually heard of Solard.
Mm-hmm.
The Wikipedia indicates that the monastery there was founded by Cistercian monks in the middle of the 11th century and was disbanded in the 13th century by the local lord with unseemly, even alarming haste. The monastery was abandoned for some years until it was eventually buried in a landslip triggered by an earthquake. And it is this site that they are expending. It's up in the mountains off of the main road. You fly into Cluj-Napoca and then take a car.
Is there any local lore about the monastery? Like folklore, like sometimes when there's stuff like this, there's stories that are passed down that seem to not to be true, but who's to say they aren't?
Nothing that really twigs your radar. The site has been abandoned for so many years. There aren't really a lot of stories about it. You suspect that with the haste, the monastery was closed down in the 13th century. You're all familiar with the story of like how the Knights Templars kind of they were disfavored when they achieved too much power. And it's kind of like that. There was just like all of a sudden this edict from the local lord that this monastery is now no longer completely off limits. That's not the usual way of things. There was probably a story behind it, but it's long since forgotten. So,
Well, they said vampires, and I'm a paranoid person. So can I arrange preparedness or network to conveniently have vampire fighting supplies show up?
absolutely.
Some wooden stakes, some holy water.
Well, I mean, and it depends. If you do a 1 point preparedness spend, you can visit the local church and attain a couple of vials of holy water, and stakes are trivial. If you want to have wooden capped bullets, that's going to cost you many more points. Or silver bullets, or anything like weird or exotic, crossbows firing wooden stakes. But a 1 point spend can get you some crucifixes, some holy water, and wooden stakes, and a mallet.
However, Swiss Army prep mechanics.
Yes.
I could manufacture hollow point bullets with wooden dowel rods in them.
Yes, you could.
So I can.
Given time and yes, it takes some time.
So I can take some time once we get landed to make sure that I prepare us all with a couple of magazines of prepared hollow points that are wooden hollow points. That way we have a vampire weapon for a firearm.
Okay, I'll go ahead and spend 1 point to make sure we have holy water and crosses of.
Can I get the crossbow that fires wooden sticks?
I can fashion heavier wooden arrows for her.
With a 1 point preparedness spend, you can have crossbow, which will trigger off of your firearm skill, and we can note that its ammunition is made out of wood.
Real wood bolts, not those crappy aluminum ones they make.
Exactly.
On the flight, I have a silver bullet that I keep playing with. It's on a chain.
You also can use preparedness. Romania is one thing. You're flying in legit. You're flying in your own plane, and Romania is former Soviet bloc country.
AK-47s on every
So you also could spend. Now you know that you have no problem packing the heat you're carrying on the plane because no one's going to check it because it's your plane. But you know that she got fired at, so you know that there's armed guards on the premises. You could also spend preparedness if you want to, try to obtain some heavier weaponry or any other.
Can I spend another point to get a bulletproof jacket and an AK?
Yes, you can. And you can also spend points on the fly. I mean, you can spend points now to grab specific things that you do have with you.
But with
and then
preparedness, you could actually just spend the point and say, I just happen to have a grenade
this,
in my
yes.
bag.
But I want my bulletproof jacket and AK now. I feel better.
Right.
Yeah, I think I will also do the same. I will spend some preparedness to get a Kevlar
This
vest.
does sound very smart.
You're not best.
Kevlar vest. And
Well, I'm
instead of an AK, I think I'm going to go more along the lines of a submachine guns. So I'm going more for an up close type of automatic weapon as opposed of an AK.
spray and pray.
I don't have a whole lot of shooting, so I'm expecting to just spray and pray.
Right. There you go. So yeah, you spend some time preparing your excursion to the incursion.
Good thing this church sells AKs. Side business.
They're a very holy
Yes,
order.
it's Father Vaslav's religious supplies and weaponry.
Hail Mary,
Open.
pass the ammunition.
Open 24 hours.
With these research, was she able to get maps of the area? I do have outdoor survival,
Oh, you totally have maps of the area. Like Google will take care of that.
so can I plan our entrance
You can.
with outdoor survival?
You absolutely can.
And if necessary, since they did shoot at us, I'm also willing to possibly spend military science. Since we know they're armed, finding our way in is not just the problem, we also need to make sure they don't see us on the way in. And if they shot at her, they might have some discipline.
Okay.
It could be official.
Does that mean you're scouting the location before actually making your run at it?
Since I'm the wheelman, yes, that will probably be something that would be right up my alley.
Awesome. In that case, it looks like whoever's doing this is using mostly local muscle again. Although you're seeing what looks to you like a combination of Russian mafia, like low-level Russian mafia goons, and some kind of mid-grade mercenaries.
Since I'm scouting ahead, I probably would have made sure I brought a nice camera, so on the fly, I'm sending digital images back
Yep.
to Ali and V so everyone can see what I'm seeing.
No problem there. The guys in charge, you can see guys are obviously in charge of the operation, and they remind you of that guy you saw in the blurry picture you got of the guy you saw at the cafe. The guy appears to be running the op.
From the airport?
The
well,
blonde
he's-
man, the blonde man with
the
the
blonde man
earpiece.
with the
Leaving the
earpiece.
airport.
No, not the
No, the other-
the one that was
the ones
watching
at
the
the
hotel.
cafe.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the one that was
Yeah.
at the hotel watching the thugs.
Okay.
So it's the guy that was pulling the strings from the thugs.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not close enough to tell if it's the same guy, but it kind of gives you that same impression. You know,
Kind of has the same build.
same
They're
build,
close.
same pallor. I mean, not pale skin of the like all the way over in the vampiric range, but just
White guy sticking out.
Nordic, so blonde, pale skin. that
Do
sort
I
of thing.
see the new age hippie chick and SAS crew cut guy down there?
I'm glad you mentioned your camera because you do have photography.
I do not, but I would, since I was going to scout the location, it would only be smart that I would, take a camera so I can send back surveillance.
Absolutely.
I do have surveillance.
Who does? All right. Who? So you're gonna grab the image with your surveillance. Someone with photography is going to enhance.
That's all you.
Okay. Photography.
Enhance. Enhance.
Right? Enhance.
Enhance.
CSI.
You're able to kind of clean it up in Photoshop a little bit and kind of remove some anti-aliasing and this and that. And you're watching her do it, and you see the woman with the black curly hair, like clear as day.
Go back.
He's like, I know that. I know
Go back.
I go back
She was the one outside the airport.
Right.
inside the taxi outside the airport. Oh, okay.
She's wearing so again she's still wearing like lots of kind of new agey long black multi-layered lacy skirts and leggings and Doc Martens, and she's got a hard hat with a with a headband underneath it, and so she seems to be in the picture. She seems to be directing people. Like she keeps pointing out locations, and it looks like she's using a dowsing wand, one of those forked dealios.
Told you, shoot the mage first. Let's kill her.
Wrong game.
So, just on a whim, since he's told me what she looks like, and now I see her.
Right.
By her dress, would human terrain allow me to try to discern? She's dark hair, curly hair, darker skin. With the outfit, and is she triggering anything about human terrain that makes me think that possibly she could be Romney? Like,
Yeah, very
Gypsy?
much. You're absolutely
very much
getting
Romani.
a Romani sort of vibe off of her. Definitely.
Romani.
Romani.
I love the Romani.
So they're trying to fight you.
Who has archaeology?
Romani.
Someone took
I
that.
took it.
You actually bought that?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's a side hobby.
Just side hobby.
You
It's like killing people.
recalling your archaeology course in college, you are fairly appalled to note that this isn't any kind of competent archaeological excavation. They're digging right through the ruins, look as if they're looking for something buried beneath them. And they're using backhoes. They're using heavy equipment. They're clearly in a hurry. If they were exhuming the monastery, they would be going about it much more carefully, preserving, ancient stonework and stuff. And they're just punching a hole straight through.
Watch them work. They're not giving any regard to the ruins. They're after something.
Bill.
Quickly.
is there anything
People usually don't shoot at people
during my
just to point out the
surveillance?
ruins.
Does it look like they have?
It's true.
It's flavor.
Is there anything that looks like it's the headquarters of the staging area where they're keeping important stuff?
Yes, there's pretty, there's some trailers on site. She occupies one. She is occasionally accompanied by a. You also get a picture of the blonde
SAS
crew
That's her
cut.
boyfriend.
Well, it's interesting you should mention that because
They totally stopped
they
picking up.
actually seem to be arguing most of the time.
They're married.
It's like they're kind of. It looks like you've got human terrain.
Yes.
Which tradecraft speaking, kind of you read the organizational structure, right? See who answers to who, and it looks again. This op was probably staged in a big hurry, and they appear to both think they're in charge, and so they keep arguing with each other. She tells the diggers one thing, he tells the diggers something else. They argue about it for a while. This goes on, one of them concedes, and then the whole thing starts all over again.
Bloody hell, they could have had this thing out of a whole weeks ago. These two just need to fucking get it over with.
Who wants to spend diagnosis or notice?
I have diagnosis.
Give me a diagnosis spend at 1 point.
Sure.
You spot. You've brought back all this surveillance footage.
I
You're
do.
planning your moves.
I also have surveillance, so
Right.
since we
Yeah,
were ready, I could
you
leave some
scouted.
cameras
You
or
scouted
something.
the area out, and you're using all of this information to plan your op. You noticed something in the pictures he brought back.
Okay.
There are several cooler boxes of the sort used to transport blood transfusions.
Okay,
You're just like the when you
I think we need a syringe.
So, let's do it differently.
you
It sounds like a good idea to me. Stick with it.
so the coolers that they put like at a blood drive that they put the blood in. There are enough of them on site to hold about 20 units, which is a lot of blood. That's like someone's entire volume.
There's a Red Cross stationary station somewhere.
Yeah, they
that's
just-
rapidly out of blood.
They either just had like the world's most successful blood drive, or who knows. But you think you're about as prepared as you're likely to get. So the question is, when do you go?
Of course.
You're ready to pay them a visit.
Yes. Dusk. What shadowy? We can go.
Sure.
We can go when it's not completely dark. Towards dark.
I'll make sure that I have our getaway vehicle parked conveniently, and then lead everyone in through the route that I chose.
All right. As you drive up, you can all see the stuff that you noticed in the pictures. This so-called mining operation, you know this from your archaeology. The castle, the monastery had been buried by one landslide. And they used explosives to trigger another. They basically continued the landslide to uncover the building. So there's this big scar on the side of the mountain where all this dirt and rock has tumbled below, and you can see the earth-moving equipment and people working with shovels. They've got arc lights posted all over the place, so they seem to be still working about it despite it's at night. Again, you notice among the debris there's chunks of masonry, so it's not just rock but parts of the monastery itself just broken off, fallen in, that they don't seem to be paying any attention to.
Hey, Cosmic Knight, how you doing?
Hey, Cosmic Knight. We are playing Cosmic Knights Black Agents, so I hope you enjoy. So you've counted about a dozen armed guards, about equal number of laborers and engineers, and then 3 kind of what look like flunkies to the 2 people who are in charge, kind of like staff. People walking around in lab coats carrying clipboards. Kind of stuff. So you've parked your car facing the other way in case you have to make a quick getaway. And how are you guys planning on approaching?
I'm going to sneak.
Infiltration.
Yes, infiltration.
That would be an infiltration. You have done okay. So I will tell you that the investigative spins that you've done are going to drop the difficulty. But so it's
I'll still
easier
spend
than
some.
it would originally have been. But how much infiltration are you going to spend to make your roll?
I automatically succeed on infiltration test.
All right,
Boom.
boom.
I will spend 2.
I have a total of 4.
I have a total of 4 as well.
I will spend 3 points. 8 total.
8. You succeed.
4.
4.
4.
Okay. So you guys have gotten into the compound, and you've kind of had to time it so that you go in pairs. So like you guys have gone over the fence, and like gotten yourselves into cover, and you guys are making your move, and a guard unexpectedly comes around the corner. So you're all sort of
Is it
10 or 12 feet away from each other, and he is like, he
Is it
reacts
one
with
of the-
surprise.
Is it one of the merc guys or one of the thug guys?
It looks like one of the. It looks like one of the Russian. It looks like a Russian mob guy. You see tattoos, and well, the merc would have tattoos as well, but you see such Cyrillic tattoos.
I'm going to go ahead and spend criminology and whip out some currency, and just like, you didn't see us, mate. Just walk away. I will spend a point of criminology, and I will declare that I speak Russian as one of my languages. I will walk up to him and start talking like a Vori.
All right,
Like
that's
a
gonna
fl-
be
like-
a really hard test.
But I have
I'll let-
flattery as well.
You look cute in that.
You look cute on your. That gun really brings out your eyes.
But yeah,
Actually,
I've also got
it's a
reassurance.
tone.
I'm going to basically, I'll say that I can speak Russian and
You
see if I
can speak Russian.
bribe him.
Pick your approach, make your spin, make your attempt.
All right, so I will speak Russian, and I will use criminology. I will pull out the currency of the land, of what currency? Do свидания, brother. We know common people who have done time in prisons together. Look, this is not your problem. Look the other way, my friend. Maybe you go down to town, have a drink, vodka on me, come back in an hour, you say. And roll 2.
And what did you spend?
I was going to spend criminology.
How much of it were you going to?
I have 1 point in criminology, and it is an investigative skill, so
Yeah.
I'm going to try and talk
He
to
looks at you.
make it look like I'm a fellow Vori.
He's got one of the microphone, walkie-talkie microphones on it, and he just reaches for his walkie-talkie.
Can I shoot him in the head with my silenced weapon?
You sure can. That
I'd like
would be a shooting test.
I'd like to do that now. I will spend 2 points.
Using your Glock.
Yeah, the silenced one.
It's worth a shot.
7.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, you hit him.
ouch.
In fact, you said head, so you had an increased difficulty, but you're going to do increased damage.
Okay, what do I roll?
You hit him regardless, so roll a d6 and add 2.
3. I took a 0 off. Fucker can't hear a damn thing.
All right. He is
You're very
staggered.
good. Your characters are very good at shooting people's ears off.
Yeah.
Since
He is staggered, but and bleeding profusely, but you haven't dropped him just yet.
No, because I rolled a freaking 1. Stupid gun.
since I was up close to him, I'll whip out. Sorry, mate. Nothing personal.
All right, make a
Weapons.
weapons attack. Yes.
2 points. I'll spend 2 points.
Spend 2.
7 total.
Yeah, that definitely hit.
Roll more than 1.
D6 minus 1.
5.
Yeah, you. He was sufficiently staggered from the gunshot so that you hit him. You just didn't get him dead on, make a instantly lethal shot. But it opened up the opportunity for you to finish him.
Grab him the headlock, right from behind, take him out.
All right, you look around. You guys are just
Yep.
so there's a corpse lying at your feet.
I didn't look
We'll
which is.
move it.
It's got
Drag it off into the underbrush.
all right. You hide the corpse.
And then we need to leave because we kind of made noise.
Take the radio.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll take his radio.
Yeah, he's carrying an AK as well.
Sling that over my shoulder, and I'll take his radio and put the earpiece in so I can listen to their conversation.
All right, there you go. Very good.
Couple more failed checks like this, and we'll get them all dead.
You only have to do that 12 more times.
Yes.
You
Well, as our kill count goes up, I'll eventually be able to call in the aerial bomber. So, take care of this.
Wait, I do have explosive devices. Where's the generator?
There's probably explosives around here.
Yes.
You're sneaking around one of those modular office trailer things when you hear the machinery up ahead rattle to a stop, and you hear excited voices from up ahead.
No good will come
And
of this.
you start to make out among the shouts. You start to make out, yeah, we're through, we did it. You peek around, and there is there's a crane being moved. A crane is moving into place and lowering down a cargo hoist. The Romani woman is clapping excitedly, and the guy next to her is kind of the big beefy secret forces, special forces kind of guy. Is kind of like, yeah, you were right. So what? Yeah.
When I was
So-
doing the surveillance, did I see the shed where they keep the explosives?
Yeah, you did.
You want to go get some explosives?
I'll come on the call. All right, look, we won't have to get out of here in this quick hurry. We're gonna go get some explosives. If we need to, we'll blow this place. Use it as a distraction. I'm going to go over and see and start improvising a bomb.
All right. Well,
Well, not really improvising. I'll just get a bomb.
you're gonna have to get into the shed. This is a reason. I mean, the op was laid on really in great haste, but they're doing it with a certain level of professionalism. So the explosive shed is locked. So I'm gonna need a filch test from
Can
you.
I go
I have
over
that.
with them?
I
Sure.
don't have filch.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's her bag.
Then I'll
That's
the
her.
lock.
That's her black bag.
Is
then
the
I'll
lock?
cover her.
Is the lock a simple lock?
It is.
I open basic locks for free.
I'll cover her.
Clink. You're welcome.
So they're probably just using commercial grade explosives. Just,
Yeah. C4.
Just
It's actually a bunch of blocks of C4.
so it's not commercial grade explosives.
No, this stuff is military grade.
But unfortunately, it's easier to use than commercial. So I'm going to wire up 2 charges. One charge to take out the explosive shed, and the other charge to take out the crane. Are we all in agreement that crane does not need to bring up whatever it's bringing up?
It's bad news.
All right. So yeah, I'll rig up a charge to take out the crane,
Okay.
and then I'll rig out a charge to take out the explosive shack, and the explosive shack is going to be our getaway distraction.
Explosive shack will blow up some more.
Yeah.
Big bada
The
Who's better at sneaking with me?
you're able to rig up 2 explosive charges easily enough. But the crane's already pulling something out. They just lowered the cargo hoist down. Something got loaded onto it by
We should
whoever was down
the
there.
blood.
And
Put it in a charge.
like
so
where your
the
head's
crane
at,
is
Lex.
pulling something out as you speak. It is it looked from where you guys, as you're just like emerging from the sheds, like I got this, and you see this crane hauling up what looks like a massive stone block.
Okay, we're going to sneak over by where the blood is,
Mhm.
and we're going to blow up the area where the blood is. So we blow up all the blood.
Okay. Give me an infiltration test.
I automatically
People are,
succeed all infiltration tests.
I'll give V the package and just go on point and guard her. Since she's better at sneaking than I am.
Do you have the explosive devices skill?
Where is that?
It's a general skill.
A general skill. Explosive devices. I have 2 points in it.
All right. Make me an explosive devices roll to.
I will spend 2.
Okay.
For 4.
All right. You're pretty sure that you've got the bomb wired onto the blood.
If not, we can just shoot it.
There's a shooting C4 isn't going to do anything.
We can shoot the boxes, and make the blood leak.
Okay, so the people in charge, the people who think they're in charge, are kind of excitedly gathering around this just ginormous stone block, and on closer inspection, if you use a telephoto lens or a scope or anything like that, it's not just one big solid block of stone, but it appears to be, frankly, a sarcophagus that they've pulled out of there. And it's lower down. The straps of the cargo hoist are disassembled, and the Romany woman appears to be chanting over it, and the special forces guy is leaning in expectantly. The flunkies are all kind of gathering around. And the engineer types are, they're recording this on video,
Are you ready to
marking
blow
things
this shit
down
up?
on their clipboards.
Because I'm gonna shoot this girl now.
Shoot the body woman?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Wait.
Okay, the special forces guy, just before you pull the trigger, the special forces guy reaches over and lifts up the lid of the sarcophagus and sets it aside. You estimate it was probably 500 pounds. Solid slab of stone, 7 feet long, 4 feet wide.
Should
just
have the bomb.
He just reached over and lifted it up, put it aside. Dust.
That's a problem.
What vehicles are down here in the site?
A crane.
Not fast enough.
There's a bunch of Land Rovers. There's a Lexus that looks like the boss team has come in on.
Because we might have to make a fast exit.
So should I shoot this girl before she finishes her ritual?
Why don't we set their vehicles to blow?
Why don't we just slit their tires?
Yeah.
I can. I can.
The woman
Because the ritual
points
is
in the direction of where you stored the blood, and one of the guys in lab coats starts going over in that direction.
Nothing personal, mate.
Blow it.
As soon as that guy walks over,
He has a pallet. He gets a pallet jack, and they're on a pallet. He gets a pallet jack, and he's preparing to pallet jack the whole pallet, all of the blood.
I'd like to shoot her as he does that.
No, wait, hold. If he brings the blood over there, we can take them all out.
Okay.
The bomb works.
Well, I'm just seeing this ancient vampire, this sarcophagus getting covered in the blood of 20 people instead of his 20 packs of blood, and I'm thinking,
That's
maybe
a
not good.
He turns it around. He turns it around, starts wheeling it over, and she points directly at him and says in English, "Stop right there! Don't come any closer. It's wrong. There's no, she didn't see you. She didn't see you infiltrated. There's no way the bomb is not in a location that is visible to her. There's no way that she could. There's nothing about its appearance that would indicate anything's in the slightest bit amiss, but she's telling him not one step further, and she's motioning some of the guards forward.
When the guards get over there,
Are they going towards?
Oh yeah, totally. They're
As soon as they're it's a
They're
lot of
free.
C4.
Yeah.
As soon as they're within like 20 feet.
the engineer guy in the lab coat and two of the mercenary types, the tougher guys, get turned into a fine red mist, as does all of the blood. The special forces guy with the crew cut just yells, British accent, "What the hell did you do that for? We needed that! We needed that for the ritual!" And she says, "Well, you see what just happened. Imagine that going off here. I keep telling you to trust in my sight, and you never do."
I like to shoot her. I'm scared. I like the spin 4.
Okay.
8.
It's gonna be, let's see, she's kind of on her guard, but 8 is still a hit.
I'm shooting her with the AK, because why not?
Okay.
So what does it do?
Give me a
It's
second.
not pretty.
It is dusk, which is bad news for you guys. Yeah, you hit her.
Well, if it's if it helps to eat the bullets or what?
Won't matter for her, but it might be important in the next.
How much damage did I need to bother rolling?
Give me a d6 plus 1.
6.
Okay. All right. That shot. I mean, I assume you fired a short burst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shot would. You stitch her across her body. 3 shots in the center mass. That would drop. Yeah, it was a great shot. It would just send anybody just down to the ground.
Except for her.
Except for her.
Still,
They're wooden bullets. Except for magic doesn't care.
can I get enough vantage point that if anything comes out of sarcophagus, I can shoot it?
Sure. You can start scrambling up you start scrambling up the crane.
I parkour. I parkour up
Give me an athletics check. It's not hard.
with a refresh of 3.
Well, just saying you parkour. Tell me how your client. So big caterpillar treads, and then the body. This is like your basic gigantic, industrial strength crane. So big old caterpillar treads, body, massive concrete counterweights, big scaffolding. Tell me how you get up there. Describe
I
it.
have an idea.
I run up and I jump on the treads.
I have an idea.
Okay.
And I grab
It's not
onto the
good
crane
enough.
and I swing myself up on one of the bars and I run up it.
You're running up on the back of the.
Yeah.
Awesome. That gives you your refresh. I love it.
I like to run away so I can lead all the bad guys away.
I'm going to spend 4.
I am
Okay.
running towards a Land Rover.
Actually, if you spend 4, you succeed.
Okay. Well, I got 9 then. No one saw me.
Well, you're doing athletics. You're not doing stealth. Again, you're running up the side of a
Very
crane.
quick.
It's infiltration though. And I always.
No, it's not.
That's super skill.
I'm running towards a Land Rover.
Okay.
I'm moving circle around to get better
shed?
spot at this
That's
sarcophagus.
the sheds are ace in the hole.
Okay.
But I'm going to jump into a Land Rover and use 1 point of drive to automatically hotwire the vehicle. Then, falling back on my days of smuggling people out of Beirut, I'm going to make sure that I over-rev the tack so I can get my automatically succeed. I will automatically succeed on this driving test as I drive full speed in reverse into the sarcophagus and knock it back into the hole.
Okay. Well,
Or try to.
well, the thing is, okay, so they've punched through the roof of a building and they've reached in and pulled something. So it's not next to a hole. It's like they've pulled it out of the building and lowered it down next to
Oh.
it. So there's no hole for it to be knocked into. So just so you know that. Now on this turn, you're booking it toward the car and starting it.
Right.
Um,
Still
so
running.
and you can rethink your plan
Yes.
while you're
hot wiring.
While you're considering this
Start.
new information, are you running away to provide a distraction?
Yes, firing wildly in the air, running,
All right, awesome.
shooting at people,
Look at that.
Towards the shack.
running past the
And
shack.
you are getting a point to get eyes on the sarcophagus.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. What do you think to spend?
Do you want to not be seen?
Just
Can I do
keep running
infiltration?
away from the
So give me
shack.
some infiltration.
I will spend.
Well, we're
3.
trying to run by it, just enough to not do labor by it, so you can blow it up.
Oh,
Just run
one.
fast.
So 4.
All right. Okay, things are a little bit chaotic because there's this big, you get
Sure.
kind of a boost because of the sort of. So you don't. No one's challenging you right now.
Sure.
So here's what happened. You've got a considerable. You weren't right up next to these guys,
Mhm.
right? You had fired a rifle, and you're running in the opposite direction. So you're booking at full speed. By the time you start running, you've already got a considerable amount of distance. There's a hand on your and the special forces guy pulls you around. That's a spin, by the way.
Did he just teleport? He's not allowed
No,
to
he just
teleport.
ran really, really
He's not allowed
fast.
to teleport.
He just ran really, really fast. I mean, he caught up with you running. You hear the steps coming up from
He
behind.
obviously teleported.
You can hear the steps coming up from
Okay.
behind, but he caught up with you running despite a considerable head start.
Nice.
In fact, since you realize